Hello, my name is FPL Pickle and welcome back to another video. So today we have my Game Week 3 team selection video, and I'm not going to lie guys, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather today, so we're going to try and make this a quick one. But if you are fancying something a little bit longer, then I uploaded my Pickles preview video not too long ago, and that covers things like the Game Week 2 highlights, covering some of your dilemmas, and I also came up with some fun predictions as well for the game week. So if you're interested in that, then please click the link in the description down below. But for this video, what we're going to do is look at how my team is lining up for Game Week 3 as of right now, and then also discuss some of the transfer plans I have in mind, and also discussing things like potential captaincy as well. But quickly before I do that, I just thought I'd briefly update you, if you haven't seen already, on how my team did in Game Week 2. And as you can see, it didn't go very well. I'm not having a great start to the season. 35 points in Game Week 2, an absolute disaster really, and down 7.3 million. So I think based on what you can see, I need to make some changes. I know we say don't panic, but I am ready now to make some moves. So yeah, I'll quickly show you now how the team is lining up, and then we can discuss some potential transfers after that. So this is how my team is currently lining up for Game Week 3, and this is obviously before any transfers have been made. So currently got 2 free transfers and no money in the bank at the moment. But I just thought I'd show you the team in its entirety to start off with, just so you can see where potential transfers might need to be made. But I'll start off with the defence anyway. Sanchez in goal, obvious pick really, and then Williams, Konza and Pedro Porro. I don't feel like I need to spend too much time talking about them. They've all got very nice fixtures all at home. I'm happy to start any of them, and I don't feel the need to make any defensive transfers at the moment. And I've got the likes of Anderson for Leeds at home next week as well, so I'm pretty happy with the defence at the moment. There's nowhere that I really want to change. The midfield, however, this is where it's a little bit more itchy, I suppose. So we've got Salah, we've got Palmer, who's flagged, of course, Rodgers, Wirtz and Reinders. So I suppose the big thing here is Palmer, and not ideal timing. I'm currently recording this right before the Maresca press conference, so whether he starts or not for Game Week 3, I'm not certain of that right now. But we've heard that Palmer's not going to be in the squad for England, so that's making it sound that it's less likely that he's going to start in Game Week 3, and I think that kind of news is going to slightly influence the moves I make in Game Week 3. But at the moment, to be honest, and you'll see a little bit later, I am leaning towards selling Palmer for someone else, and we'll discuss the kind of options that I'm thinking about. In terms of the other midfielders though, Rodgers, I'm happy to keep for now. I know that the Villa assets haven't been great as of right now, but they've got good fixtures coming up and I'm happy to keep them, so it's not a priority anyway. And then Wirtz, not ideal for Arsenal at home. Whether I sell Palmer or not will probably have an influence on whether he starts for me in Game Week 3 or not. But I think because of the Burnley fixture in Game Week 4, I'm just going to keep him for now. I obviously, in hindsight, wish I'd picked someone else, but I've just got to stick with it for now. And he could haul at any point. It'll probably be just my luck that he hauls against Arsenal at home when I've benched him. But anyway, yeah. For now, I'm happy to keep. And then Reinders went up in price again, 5.7 million now. Got Brighton away. I'm happy with that. I don't feel like I need to move him at any point. And I'm fairly confident he's going to start. So, yeah, I'm happy with that. And then forward line again, Watkins, I'm going to keep. Like I said, I'm happy with the Villa players for now. I'm going to give them a little bit more of a chance. And, if they still are not performing in the easier fixtures, then it might be time to say goodbye, especially when, downgrading Watkins especially could, really help me out in terms of flexibility. But against a tired Crystal Palace team, I feel fairly confident, and it's at home as well. And then Strand Larsen at Everton at home. In a height, when you think about it, that's not the best fixture in the world, and obviously there's been all this stuff with Newcastle and him potentially moving, but I think with the new signing that Newcastle have now made, I think Strand Larsen's going to stay, and Wolves basically said it's not for sale, so he's going to stay. And I think with the nice fixtures Wolves have got coming up as well, I'm happy to keep him there. So yeah, that's the team in its entirety for now. I'm fairly happy with most of it, but as you can see, there are some things that I need to work on. Like, you see Fulkrug on the bench, and I think you could probably gather that I don't really want to keep him anymore. And so I think the moves that I'm thinking of at the moment, they are revolving around Palmer and Fulkrug at so those positions really. So yeah, what we'll do now, we'll kind of discuss quickly what transfers I'm currently looking at, even with the Palmer news, I think I'm still going to lean towards selling him at the moment. And yeah, we'll discuss that, and you'll have to let me know in the comments what you think about these potential transfers. So guys, before we move on to my transfer plans, and with all this talk of team selections, I just thought I'd show you my team in club. And you might have already heard me talk about club in these videos before, and if you have downloaded the game, I really hope you're enjoying it. But if not, then this is essentially a free-to-play fantasy football mobile game. And as you can see on the screen, I'm actually part of the game, which is really, really cool. But yeah, I thought I'd show you my team to start off with. So the front line is looking really, really spicy, the likes of Atara, Watkins, Acuna. And the defence looks decent as well. I've even got a cheeky Livramento on loan. But where I think my team needs a little bit of work is my midfield. So what I'm hoping to do today is meet with Manny to see if I can upgrade my team a little bit. And you can meet with Manny every so often. He'll offer you players, and you can either accept or reject those to help build your team. So what I'm going to do today is meet with Manny and see if he can get a midfielder for me. Okay, so here we go on the screen. We've got Manny. I'm going to meet with him now and see if we can get a midfielder. Tap to reveal. Base. Core. Oh, it's a forward. Oh, my forward line's already really stacked as well. That's a shame. But we've got He-Chan. No, we're gonna reject that. Unfortunately today I didn't get a midfielder. But you never know, the deadline, we've still got a little bit of time left, so I could get a midfielder. But yeah guys, if you're interested in giving club a go, then please click the link down below in the description. Like I said, it's free to play, and there's still time before the Game Week 3 deadline to come up with a nice team to play in your head-to-head leagues. And I also have a league myself called the Pickle League, and I'm aiming to get 500 people in that league. So if you're interested, then please join it, 8CVY7QL. I'd love to see as many of you as possible. But yeah, let's get back to the video. So guys, like I mentioned, I've got 2 free transfers, and I'm leaning towards selling Palmer at the moment, even if he is starting, which feels less likely at the moment. I still feel inclined to sell him because, you know, he hasn't been performing, and groin injuries can linger a little bit. So even if he is fit, I'm worried he's just going to like pull it again. And especially when there's the likes of João Pedro looming around, as you can see, I'm quite worried about his ownership especially. And knowing how much he damaged my rank last week, I feel a little bit afraid of him. So yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. But first thing is, who do I downgrade Palmer for? Because that's where I'm going to get the money to upgrade Fulkrug essentially. So the options I'm currently looking at are, this is probably funny, you guys probably think this is funny now, but Cunha, Mbeumo, and then Semenyo as well. So the Man United assets, it's Burnley at home, so it's tempting, right? I don't have Fernandes, and a lot of people are going to be captaining Fernandes. And so in terms of captaincy, this is where I'm a bit worried, because I currently don't know where I'm going to captain, basically, because I could go for Salah, but it's not the best fixture. Or I could go for one of the players that I bring in, but nothing really feels ideal. And I know that maybe I should be less afraid of Fernandes based on what's happened. He's playing a more defensive role, and, you know, the whole thing against Grimsby, it's not going to be great for their confidence and for their mindset, I suppose. But equally, saying that though, they could come back to this game being very, very angry and could really, you know, batter Burnley essentially. So I think deep down I still want to have a Man United asset. But unfortunately, because of price changes, I can't really afford Fernandes if I want to get João Pedro. So that's, you know, that's a bit of a shame. But I think, yeah, it's going to be between Cunha and Mbeumo essentially. And at first, I was quite hot on Cunha because he was passing the eye test, looked very attacking. He's so good at dribbling. And yeah, I just thought he'd be more likely to get a return. But he played, you know, the whole match against Grimsby, and then he missed the pen that ultimately led them to losing, really. I know Mbeumo missed the final pen, but I suppose if Cunha hadn't missed that pen that he took, then, you know, they would have won probably. So I imagine that's knocked his confidence. And I know Mbeumo's not going to be feeling great either. But, you know, he did get the goal against Grimsby when he came on, had an impact, and he's going to be on set pieces as well. So I think, you know, maybe Mbeumo's possibly the more sensible asset in terms of having more routes to points. It's so difficult because, you know, we saw how good both Cunha and Mbeumo were, you know, with their previous clubs. It feels very different now that they're at Man United, and they instantly feel less desirable. But I think with the Burnley fixture, and maybe not the Game Week 4 fixture, but the ones after that, they're decent. So I don't feel too bad having to have one of these. But yeah, let me know in the comments, would you go for Mbermo or Cunha if you're going to go for one of them? And then the other option is Semenyo. So Semenyo's been really, really good so far. You know, he good minutes as well, and just looks like the talisman of the team. Now I know the fixtures they've got coming up, the likes of Spurs, Newcastle, they're not great, but I think that actually in my Pickles preview video, I predicted that Bournemouth are going to score 2 or more goals against Spurs, which is not ideal when I have Pedro Porro, but maybe I should back that prediction a little bit by getting Semenyo. But I just think he could be a really nice option just to keep long term. So that's the other option. I was also looking at Johnson, but with the new signing of Xavi Simons, that does worry me a little bit. There's just basically more uncertainty around all of the Spurs players now, and I know they've got such good fixtures, and it might be that it doesn't impact their minutes too much at all, but it is putting me off the likes of Kudus and Johnson a little bit for now, so that's why they're not here. But yeah, so those are the 3 that I'm thinking about at the moment. And then of course for Fulkrug, this is where I want to upgrade. So using the money that I've gained from downgrading Parma, I then want to use to upgrade Fulkrug because bless West Ham, they're just not good. And in hindsight, it wasn't the best transfer in the world, and I've lost money because of it, but you know, I just got to move on. But yeah, I think if I'm going to downgrade Palmer, then I would like some Chelsea attacking coverage, and I think with the EO that João Pedro is going to have, I just want to have him because it worries me, and I know that, especially at the rank I'm at, maybe it's better to pick a player that's lowly owned, and then if they haul, it will kind of shoot me up. But at the same time, I want to protect myself a little bit. Obviously, another option that I haven't put here is Chris Wood because they have West Ham at home, and that could be a really nice option. They have Arsenal away in Game Week 4, which isn't ideal, but then they have Burnley away after that. So Wood could be a nice option, but it might be that I just get João Pedro for now, and then, you know, Strand Larsen continues to not really do much, then I upgrade Strand Larsen to Wood in the future. But yeah, you'll have to let me know what you guys think. It's me playing a little bit safe, I suppose. But yeah, in terms of captaincy anyway, it might be that I even captain João Pedro if I get him, or I could potentially even captain one of the Man United assets, but that doesn't feel very safe. Let me know. I'd be interested for you guys to kind of rank the captains. So I guess the options would be, if I make these moves, that is, the options would be Salah, Mbermo, João Pedro, and maybe Watkins. We'll say those 4. Let me know in the comments. If you rank those 1 to 4, I'd be very interested to hear your opinion. But yeah, what I'm going to do now is quickly show you on FPL team what this would look like and how it would look, you know, in a 3-4-3 formation, I'd say. So yeah, I'm going to show that to you now. Let me know what you think. So guys, here I am on FPL team once again. I just thought I'd show you how the team would look once I put the transfers in place that I have in mind. So this is the team that I essentially showed you in the other graphic. So what I'm thinking of doing at the moment is downgrading Palmer to Mbermo, because at least that gives me a little bit of Man United coverage, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little bit nervous about that. That instantly feels a little bit better. And then I'd probably move Verts to the bench and then upgrade Fulkrug to João Pedro. That's the current plan anyways. Oh, it's right there. So this would be what the team would look like if I make the moves that I'm thinking about. And then, like I mentioned, it would just be a case of who do I captain here. Could be João Pedro, could be, not Palmer, could be Salah. But yeah, this looks a lot better instantly, I think. And it's a shame having to use all my free transfers right now, but I think I like how this looks at the moment. So yeah, let me know what you think. I think Vert's been on the bench makes sense. I know that Strand Larsen has Everton at home, and Everton have been a decent defence, but I still quite like Strand Larsen for this, and I hope that he continues to, you know, try to perform, and maybe all of this kind of stuff that's been going on kind of pushes him to work even harder and do well for the team. I guess it just depends on the service that he gets. But yeah, that's what it's looking like. Let me know what you think. Does it look decent or does it look terrible? You have to let me know. So guys, there we have it. That's the end of my team selection video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments what you think. I'm feeling a little bit more optimistic for Game Week 3, but yeah, I'm just hoping I can get somewhat of a green arrow. The rank is looking a bit horror at the moment. But yeah, again, thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to join my league on FPL, then the code is 5LIC13. And if you haven't already got me on X, then my handle is FPL_pickle. I'd love to see as many of you on there as possible. But yeah, again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys very, very soon. Bye bye.